What's up, y'all? It's your man G-Way holding it down, G-Way Podcast, and we still here at Simply Connect ATL, and I have the privilege of talking to, hold on, so you took your name tag off.
I did.
Help me.
Jessica
Sherard. I was going to say it. She said it too fast. How you doing, sis?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
That's what's up. I'm good. Thanks for asking. So what brings you out tonight here at Simply Connect?
So I'm a lender. And so I'm associated with, one of the brokerages owned by Phyllis Graham.
Okay.
And so she invited me out, and I said, you know what? This is how we help our community.
Absolutely.
You know, we got to show our face. You got to know who we are.
Okay.
You know.
So how long have you been in the finance game?
A little over 10 years.
Wow. Okay. So you know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. And then I graduated with a degree in real estate finance from the University of Georgia. Okay. Go Dogs.
Okay, I see you. Are you originally from here?
I am. Decatur.
Where's greater?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I hear that being said. I'm from D.C., so you know.
Okay.
You know
DC,
what I'm saying?
I see
all
you.
day, every day, uptown. You know what it is.
Cities, I see you.
That's what's up. So what's people, we're in a time right now where things just seem seem like everything going up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything going up except for the income. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how are people able to afford these houses and getting loans these days with the way things are going? Because again, prices are going up, but the money ain't changing.
Well, I'm glad that you asked that because I have this conversation every day. Mm-hmm. One, interest rates are going down. Okay. So you're starting to see them trickle down. We're starting to get back closer to rates in the 3s and the 4s.
Nice.
It'll probably take a couple years to get back to rates in the 3s, but we're trending to the 4s.
Okay.
Low 5s. Mm-hmm. Additionally, all these people that bought up all those properties, guess what? They got to get rid of them. They made a boo-boo. They made a boo-boo.
Really?
You had a lot of people that got into it because it was a trend, and they didn't manage the books properly. And so what we're seeing is purchase prices dropping. Mm-hmm. So now they're starting to go back into the range in which they were originally supposed to be valued at. Uh-huh. And sometimes at a discount, even lower than that.
Okay.
We're starting to see seller concessions going from like $5,000 to $10,000. I mean, You're essentially not like walking into a lot of these transactions, not paying for anything but down payment. And then of course you got down payment assistance to help you out. Mm-hmm. But I don't lean into that heavy. I always want everybody to always be ready to invest and get prepared to know how to put money to the side. And always know how to keep a piggy bank. Okay.
Well, you know what? You said invest. Speaking of investments, in your professional opinion, what is the best type of investment for a person to make property investment? Is it a single family? Is it, condo? Is it townhouse? Is it a duplex? He's
like picking my brain because I'm literally having these conversations.
Really?
Multifamily.
Okay.
And here's why, right? So you got a single family home investor. Mm-hmm. I don't know about people's backgrounds, but I do know that I've had a background in property management, and being a landlord sucks.
Okay.
It does. I mean, I don't know what you want to do with your spare time, but babysitting people is not my thing to do. Okay? I have a child.
I understand. Gotcha.
Okay? That's the only babysitter I'm trying to be. Mm-hmm. But when you go forward, I think it's so much better to pull together friends, have an investment group, and you guys just pull the money together and you invest in multifamily. I mean, it has a large ROI, return on investment.
Yeah.
And every year you raise rents. You can't do that with people in single family homes.
Gotcha.
And a lot of the times people already have a mortgage on that. So you're only making the spread or netting whatever you're paying on that mortgage plus what they're paying in monthly rent. And you're still kind of like at their mercy. Because you're so scared to, maybe you want to take cash out in the equity and it might cause your mortgage to go up on it. Mm-hmm. And now you want to raise the rent on your tenant, but your tenant is like, well, it's a lot of yous in town. Mm-hmm. You raise rent on me and I'm gone. So now you're at their mercy and you're just sitting here with maybe an extra $400 or $500 left over. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, get into a space where you're into the multifamily world and then you can turn around and raise rents every year. You're capitalizing on so much of these tenants because it's multiple ones. Okay. And so your return, I mean, you're easily turning into a millionaire overnight. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just all about community.
Well, what about people who invest, but they invest out of state versus, like buying property out of state versus in their hometown or city?
I hate that.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why so?
Why would you open up a restaurant out of state? You know how they do when you're not there every day. They're going to be taking shots every hour on the hour. They're going to be taking food home. They're not even going to show up to work. Yeah. I watch all the shows. What is that? kitchen nightmares.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know,
yeah.
Hell's Kitchen, and all of it is about demonstrating that when you have these things, they're like babies. You have to babysit that. You can't have people stuck in your establishment and you're all the way across town or in a whole nother city, state, side of the world, and you expect people to have the same vested interest in your asset as you do.
As you do, right.
They don't care.
I got you.
They don't care.
True that.
And you got to make sure that you're creating a presence. It's Tuesday. Hey, guys. It's Thursday,
just show
2
up.
o'clock. I'm here. You know.
Hey, can you just pop up like that though? I thought that was kind of like some kind of tenant landlord kind of right. So you know.
No, I mean you're not popping in people's houses, but you do have like maybe a management that you're popping into their leasing office, right?
I got you.
Or you're popping in on what's going on with the property as far as like checking in with your property manager. Now, if you're just like a single family home investor. I mean, you want to be close by because they're going to call you when the HVAC goes out.
There you go.
Like we had that coldest winter ever around Christmas. And imagine having a property like maybe in Alabama, it's ice freezing, and somebody says the heat's not working. You got 2 babies in there, a single mom, and good luck to you if you try to ignore that because you're going to end up on the news and you're going to be a slum landlord.
Be a slum landlord, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to be hit with a lawsuit. More money, more problems. So you always want to be close to your investment so that you know exactly what's going on. The only time that I ever see somebody do like out-of-state stuff is like, you have to have a team. If you got people who are out-of-state and they can manage that for you and you make a fix and flip out of it, then that's one thing. But like if you're sitting there and you're actually trying to create rent roll, you have to have it close by. You want to keep the money close to you.
Keep your eyes on the money, yeah.
This is like your wallet, right?
Yeah.
We have all of our credit cards on this. Why would I be over here and my phone be over there at the bar?
That's right. That
should make you uncomfortable, right?
Very.
So it's the same way with real estate. Like if you own any asset, you want to keep it right on your hip. You want to keep it close to you. You want to know what's going on.
Okay. Now there's a thing going on. If I'm not mistaken, now I'm not the expert in this arena, but something that Bank of America is doing right now. Am I correct with them doing some kind of? Is it first like 0 down payments and all this kind of stuff that they're doing? Is there something happening with Bank of America?
I mean, they have their stuff, but that's always all across the market.
Okay.
Everybody's always offering some kind of down payment assistance, but I'm going to tell you about down payment assistance. This is the rule of thumb. When you borrow somebody else's money, they set the terms.
Wow.
So you're not going to control that transaction. They're going to set your rate. They're going to slap a lien on that house.
Yeah.
And everything about your transaction is predicated on their decision making. So it starts to just become a situation where the transaction is just kind of like, you're here, your name's on it, but you have no control over your monthly payment. You have no control over what happens if you get into trouble or want to refinance or want to sell the property. You got somebody else in a first lien position or second lien position per se, but as soon as you sell, they're going to be the first ones to get that money, before you see any money.
Yeah.
So, and then it comes with so many like terms that people miss on those disclosures. And I just tell anybody, I'm like, hey, the best thing to do when you're trying to buy a house, save up the money. Buying a house is not required. It's a choice.
Right.
Okay? And then turn around and pay for it with your money. Don't let somebody else set the terms for your transaction.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not going to be happy.
Okay. Well, speaking of having things in place, you say like the down payment, all that sort of thing. What are some of the things that people should have in place? Is it the real estate attorney? Like, what should they bring to the table to help them? You know what I mean?
An informed realtor. Listen, I no shade to realtors out here, but if you do not do this full time, you are giving your client a disservice.
Wow.
It is not fair to them. Okay? Learn your craft. So when you're sitting here in a transaction and you're trying to figure out like what to do, make sure that you hire a good realtor and you actually are aware of their professional background. I don't want to, if I'm a buyer and there's a closing happening, I don't want to hear that you can't respond to the lender and the title company and they need this or else I can't close on time because you got to go clock into work at your other job.
Wow.
That is not fair because you got paid a full-time commission. And that person deserves your full-time dedication. If you don't want to make it a full-time gig, stop doing that. It is hurting a lot of buyers out here. It confuses the entire transaction. It makes it ugly for a lot of buyers and a bad experience. And it's our job as the lender, the title company. Everybody wants to make this smooth for the buyer.
Yeah.
Nobody wants ugly transactions and people with ill feelings instead of building the unity that I'm trying to create amongst my people.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want us to come from transactions and feel like, okay, this was another shootout at the club.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I want to make sure that we're having good experiences.
Oh, yeah.
And we're encouraged to do future transactions, not discouraged and sitting in loans. We should be refinancing like ages ago because we got burned or we had a bad experience when we closed on that first purchase.
Wow.
So it's very important to do your research on who you hire as a realtor. Stop getting your cousin, your auntie, your line sister.
But what if they, you know,
if they're good at what they do,
yeah.
that is the first criteria.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay to give them a first line position in your ear and say like, hey, you can talk to me, let's talk.
Yeah.
But what needs to be the requirement is, what is your professionalism? What is your background? How dedicated are you to this? Because I need you to not just be hired on just because you my cousin, you my family.
Yeah.
I need you to be hired on because you take care of business.
Yeah.
And that's where I see a lot of disconnect, you know?
Yeah.
That's where I see a lot of disconnect. And so and if I had any, you know, advice for a first-time buyer or a repeat buyer is have a strong realtor in your back pocket and a lender that you trust, who you feel like you're going to listen to the conversation and they're going to be knowledgeable, you know?
Yeah.
And make sure you do your own research so that you can what? Check up on people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, anytime you have people working on your behalf, it's always management, whether you have a title or not.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're managing your transaction yourself and you're looking over on things and you know what they're supposed to be doing. And so you can see where there's talk and then there's action.
Action, yeah.
You know, and if those are not aligning, then you know what you're dealing with, you know?
Absolutely.
This thing right here, it's an encyclopedia. The same
Right,
information
to
that
the
I
world,
get
yeah.
is the same information you can get. You know, most lenders outside of, like, if you're going to like a private bank and they do like investment loans and other products and stuff like that, they put guidelines on the website.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You have access as a consumer to the same guideline requirements that I see. So you can educate yourself and have an idea about, okay, what does it require in order for me to get this loan? What are they looking for? And then going forward, you have the ability to actually Google, like, what is a realtor's responsibility? What are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
You get a contract and you need to check in with that realtor. Hey, did you schedule my closing? If they don't go on the calendar, guess what? You get backseated because everybody goes off of calendars in the title company.
Yeah.
If you're not on their actual schedule for a closing,
it don't happen.
It don't happen.
Wow.
You know, and now you've ruined an entire transaction and pushed back a closing for a client because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Well, how can they find a lender that they can trust, Miss Jessica Sherard?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm Jessica Sherard. That's JESSICA space SHERARD. You'll see my face. You can't miss me. You know, colorful page, and just link up with me there. I'm always available. I mean, I keep the same phone number. You know, and I'm always available to answer questions and help out when I can. Okay. You know, and I have a plethora of products. I mean, anywhere from primary purchases to investment purchases, DSCR, bank statement loans, you know, 1099 loans, all kind of stuff, foreign national loans.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, all the way into second home purchases and vacation homes. And even, you know, 1 to 4 units, you know, going on up, you know. And I have also commercial loans for, you know, multifamily purchases so that, you know, you actually have that bridge loan capability if you're not wanting to necessarily go the hard money route.
Okay.
But you need a quick closing with limited documentation. They don't even look at your job. So you just show up with the money and it's a quick, fast close.
Really?
Yep. And then I have the loans to refinance you out of that because most of those loans, the hard loans, the bridge loans, those are actually going to be like short-term loans. It's going to be like a year to 5 years you have to get out of it. But then you turn around and I have the exact loans to get you on up out of that, and I've done it, you know.
That's what's up.
It's a trial thing. You have to actually do it.
You got to do it. There it is. Well, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it all from Miss Jessica Sherard right here on the G-Wade podcast at Simply Connect ATL, man. We're doing it. Once again, where can people find you? You said LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. My name is Jessica Sherard, JESSICA. Last name Sherard, SHERARD.
That's what's up.
Yes.
And it's your man G-Wade holding it down. G-Wade podcast. Y'all know what it is. Simply Connect. We doing it, man. Y'all don't go nowhere.